Hold on, wait. I'm getting my stocking, William. Here's my stocking. I need you to fill it. I need you to stuff my stocking.
That's a different video.
Hold on. Hold on. I can be reasonable. How's that? Is that better? Fine. You're no fun. You're no fun.
This'll work.
Okay. Let him know that first one was a perfect stocking.
That's my stocking. I don't know why you're stealing my stocking.
No, you don't even like green.
I've got big feet. You've got little tiny feet.
You know green
This
is
your
my
stocking.
color. So, if you can't tell, today's video is about stockings, stuffer, board game gifts.
Yes.
I'm Kina.
And I'm William.
And we're the Nerdy Weds. Let's just get into the video. You want to start with your first one?
Sure. I'm going to start out with the one I'm least crazy about. Now, this is a great game. It's very popular in the convention scene and works very well for large groups of people. It's not my favorite entry into the genre, but talking about werewolf. This particular version is called The Werewolves. And essentially, all the players sit in a big ring facing each other. And you have one player who is in control of the game. They moderate. And each player gets a card, and the card tells each player whether they're the werewolf or a villager.
Okay.
And the players have to sit and figure out who is the bad guy and get rid of them, or they die at night. So during the day, they all debate and talk, vote somebody out in hopes that they're killing the werewolf, and at night the werewolf kills one of the good guys, presumably. So that's werewolf in a nutshell.
Pretty much. Social deduction game for up to how many players?
This copy plays 20 to 30 minutes for 8 to 18 players ages 14 and up.
So a lot.
And this one is The Werewolves of Miller's Hollow. There are a multitude of different examples of this game and different ways that it's been printed and all that.
Okay. And my first one is The Crew. And this one is 3 to 5 player, ages 10 and up. And it is a collaborative game. So you work together to win missions. And you win together or you lose together. And every mission is different and it's card based. And it is something that's meant to be played over an amount of time. You're not going to do it all in one sitting. So you will take some missions and try to accomplish them together. All of them rely on good communication, but the challenge is sometimes that communication is limited. So it adds a lot of complexity to the game and a lot of hilarity or frustration, depending on your perspective. So very good game based on cards and based on different card tricks or card challenges that you may be familiar with. So really good stocking stuffer.
I like that it's cooperative. There aren't enough cooperative games out there because you play competitive games like in almost any genre or any type of game that's available. But there are very few really good cooperative games, and to have another one that you can put in a stocking is great.
Okay, so what's your next one?
A little game called Gloom. This is a card game where you're laying down cards over top of cards that represent your family. And funny enough, ooh, words are hard. Funny enough, you're trying to kill your family in this game. You don't win the game if your family's happy when they die. Family members have to be really, really miserable. And it's a game about storytelling and just being really morbid, or not morbid, but macabre. It's kind of macabre. Not really morbid so much as macabre.
But you can make it morbid.
But in a fun, it's kind of a fun way of of torturing your family before you murder them.
Sounds really bad, huh?
And your opponent is trying to play cards to make your family members happy. If they're in the positive happy and you kill them, you lose points.
Mm-hmm.
If they're in the negative unhappy, you gain points. It's really a fun game. The cards are clear, so when you lay a card on top of another card, the icons will cover each other. So as you're layering cards on top of your family members, their stats are constantly changing, be it whether you're playing a card on there to reduce their happiness or your opponent's increasing it. It's a fun game, fits in a stocking, and there are a bunch of expansions and other variations of this game. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, a little macabre, gift to give to the person who likes to wear black in your family.
Yeah, or the person who's into horror. So
Yeah.
That love doesn't go away during Christmas time, so good little gift for people who like those things. Myself included.
It's a great gift for the Wednesday Addams in your life.
There you go. I like that. So my game is a little wordy, and this game is really good for people who like word games. It is a 2-player game, but it can be more than 2-player if you play on teams. And how you play this game is each player pulls letters for a total of 7, I believe, and they make a word out of those randomly chosen letters, and the other player has to try to guess the word that they made. And there are clue cards that are randomly placed, and you use those cards to try to get a clue that will help you to guess the word. And the person who guesses the word first is the winner. There's other little things thrown in, but that is basically the gist of this game. It's a really fun game, and it is one that is great to put in a stocking for that word lover in your life. That's all I got on this.
Wordsmith in your life.
Wordsmith. No, we're gonna go with word lover, because some of us out there. We're gonna go with wordsmith. We're gonna go with wordsmith. What have you got?
So
What's
mean.
your next one?
So mean. Oh, I'm gonna go with The Princess Bride. I Hate to Kill You. This is a fun little 2-player dice game that utilizes cards in order to change either how your dice are rolled or how your opponent's dice are rolled, and you're each trying to score hits on each other to get the kill. And it is based on Princess Bride, of course, and it's more like based on the idea of the fight between the Man in Black and Inigo Montoya.
You seem a decent fellow. I hate to kill you. You seem a decent fellow. I hate to die.
In fact, that's the classic fight in here, but you can create the other fights as well, because Humperdinck, the Man in Black, Inigo Montoya, Andre the Giant's character, I can't remember his name.
You're having your Ursula moment.
I'm having my Ursula moment. I'm so ashamed.
Put it in the comments, you guys, if you know which character, if you know the character's name.
There's even Count Rugen and Prince Humperdinck in here as well. And you can match them up, you can mix them up, and there's even a rule for the characters that didn't actually face each other in the movie. The rule is called You're Changing the Story, but that's fine. It works. It's a fun little game. It's quick. It's kind of vicious. And when you play a card, you lose that card, but there are plenty of variations in how the game can play.
Yes.
And it's a lot of fun.
And really great for the person in your life that loves the Princess Bride, which I saw I think you and I played it, but you and Joe played it, and they were having a blast, because I love the movie, but they love the movie. And just watching you two get into the different characters as you were playing the cards.
And seeing how the cards are designed to emulate how the characters behaved, it was wonderful. It was a lot of fun.
Now
And,
that's one we should have recorded, the two of you playing it, but
Yeah,
I
that would've
didn't
been great.
realize how much you both were going to get into it, and then sit there and analyze how accurate the battles are, because you both were doing
Yeah,
that.
'cause
Like,
there-
yeah, that's what
it-
these characters
yeah,
would
the-
do.
You know, he did this, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's a card where, I'm not left-handed, and the other one's like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not left-handed either. You know, spoiler for the movie, neither one of them are
Oops.
left-handed. But that's involved in both of the characters' cards,
Mm-hmm.
and how that affects the game is a lot of fun. So this is I Hate to Kill You, Princess Bride.
And my next one is Firefly Flux.
What the flux?
And what the flux? And this one is really great for a stocking stuffer because look at the size.
It's a
You
tiny
know,
box.
It's a tiny little box. It is, let's see, 2 to 6 players. So a lot of people can play this. That's good. And it's for ages 8 and up, and it's can be 5 to 30 minutes. And that's actually true because depending on the cards that you get in this game, the game could really be over in 5 minutes, or it can take longer. And this is a very dynamic game because depending, again, on the cards that you get, it really affects the objective of the game and how to win. So you have 4 actions that you can do, and all of those actions are determined by the cards. So
By the cards that are in play, yeah.
you draw a certain number of cards depending on the cards that are in play. You play a certain number of cards depending on the cards that are in play. So that's what I mean by that. Another thing I really like about this game is that with Flux, there are a lot of different variations out there. So if you have someone in your life who likes Firefly like we do, then this is a great stocking stuffer for them. But you may have someone who likes Star Wars or some other IP, and you can just look for that particular IP and throw this in their stocking. That's all I've got.
Yeah, it's a crazy game. You can be literally playing for like 20 minutes. Doesn't look like either one of you is going to win. Your opponent plays a card that changes the way the game is won, and boom, you've met those requirements already, and they weren't paying attention, and the game ends right then. This one is another really tiny game, but it's a huge game in the world of gaming, which is MTG, Magic the Gathering. This is a great game to get into, especially if you've got kids in your home, young kids, probably in the ages of 10 to 12, 13. It's a great, fun game that you and your kid can sit down and play together. And each one of you can kind of create your own decks to go against each other to battle it out. Because each player gets their own deck of cards that can be customized. You can buy booster packs. And if you got somebody in your life who loves Magic the Gathering, great stocking stuffer anytime is just booster packs. Make sure though you're buying them from a reputable place, because you know these booster packs can contain cards that are worth a lot of money.
Oh.
And disreputable sellers like on Amazon and other places will open the packs,
Wow.
remove the valuable cards, reseal them, and then sell them to you as if they were new.
That's messed up.
It's terrible. So just be careful with where you're buying them from, but Magic the Gathering is a great game. Makes for a pretty easy gift when you go out and buy a box or a sleeve of booster packs, stuff like that, to stuff in the stockings of the young people in your life, or even the older people. Because I've been playing Magic the Gathering since, I think, 1998 I started playing this game. So I haven't played it in a while. I do have Magic the Gathering decks. It's a game that she and I have been, I've been threatening to teach her to play this game for a while.
I've been willing.
Yeah. So we'll do a video of us, me teaching her to play Magic the Gathering.
So if you've been playing since '98, it's as old as your hobby is as old as our marriage.
Yeah, I was playing tournaments in 1999 in Hungary. And I got a bunch of cards from playing in tournaments as prizes. And then when I signed up for the tournaments, we're on deployment, and the Wizards of the Coast would send crates of Magic the Gathering cards for soldiers to get involved in playing the game in the rec centers.
You still have those cards?
No, I sold them for
Oh.
like $100 to a lieutenant.
Oh, well, that sucks.
They'd probably be worth a lot more than
Yeah.
that if I had them today.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of great cards.
Okay, so the next one I have here is Slam. So this is another one for those wordsmiths in your life. And Scrabble lovers. I love Scrabble, the original game. And this one allows you to kind of get that same feel of playing Scrabble without taking the length of time that it takes to play the original Scrabble.
Yeah.
So with this one, it is it's 2 to 4 player, and it is for ages 8 and up. It really can just be as fast as the people playing it. You want to be fast with this game. So what you do is you put down a 4-letter word. And I looked over at him because you know what 4-letter word he's going to put down. And then you agree on that 4-letter word, and then you divvy up the cards between the 2 players, and then you just go at it, putting down the cards that have, each card has a letter on it on both sides, and you do not take turns. You just put down a card to change a 4-letter word to a new 4-letter word. Has to be a real word. And you keep doing that until all of your cards are gone, and the person who finishes all of their cards first wins the game. And this can be a vicious game, and you're going to have some knuckles that may burn by the end of the game, because people are literally, like the game title of the game says, slamming down their cards. And this is one that, even though it's 2 to 4, again, words are hard, man.
Oh, I know.
2 to 4 player. Even though it's 2 to 4 player, I feel like it could be more players if you double the deck. So that's what I did.
That would be, no. No. 8 people trying to reach into
You gotta-
one word?
Yeah.
No.
You stand up over
Somebody's getting
you
hurt. Somebody's getting hurt.
And I don't see the problem. So you stand up. Everyone stand up around the table and you play it. I feel like we should do that at a party or something. What do you guys think? I mean,
Drinks have to be involved in this idea.
last person standing is going to be a matter of who survives. But yeah, that's all I've got on this game.
Well, normally the game would end when one player runs out of cards. I think that game's going to end when one player breaks enough fingers to quit.
You're so aggressive. Just so aggressive.
All right. My next game is Tiny Epic Galaxies. Again, tiny box, and even says tiny, and it says epic, because this game is a tiny box that contains a big game. It is a 2 to, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. 2 to 4 player. Sorry, I was wrong. This is a 1 to 4 player game.
Oh, nice.
30 to 45 minutes, ages 14 plus. So each one of you is in control of a space program, and you're trying to compete against other players for these cards that have planets on them. The planets, if you land on the planet, or you orbit the planet, or you can do all kinds of stuff to gain resources, to advance your ships, your technologies, and all that, to be the first one to score enough points to end the game. So that's Tiny Epic Galaxies. I might have some of the rules wrong. It's been a little while since I've sat down and played this game, but it is a fun little game.
You need to get the rules right.
I know, right? But also, this game is part of the Tiny Epic series of games. And I also have Tiny Epic Zombies, which is a zombie survival game in a tiny little box, and Tiny Epic Dungeons, which was a Kickstarter that we actually did a video about the Kickstarter for this game, didn't we?
Oh, we might have.
I think we did.
If we did, we'll put a link to it in the description.
So this came with a bunch of Kickstarter stuff that doesn't even fit in this box, and it is a dungeon crawler game similar to the kind of the vein of Gloomhaven, Dungeons and Dragons style game, where you're going through a dungeon, but it's little tiny guys going through a little dungeon made out of tiles that get placed. So facing monsters and picking up treasures and leveling up and all that. So that is Tiny Epic Dungeons.
Nice. So my last one is Joking Hazard. And I picked up the stocking because I was kind of pushing it with this one because it's really heavy. But guess what? Look, you guys, it does fit in there. But hopefully you put it somewhere sturdy because it's pretty heavy. And all of the other ones were small and lightweight. But I just had to put this one on the list because I need to throw one in there that is just for adults.
Yeah, this one's
because
18 plus.
Yeah, it is 18 plus. It's from Cyanide and Happiness. And if you've never seen their little YouTube videos, look them up because they are hilarious. Go ahead. What are you trying to remember?
Explosum Studios, something like that. They have a weird name, but if you look up Cyanide and Happiness, you'll find them.
So, tell me an interesting fact about yourself.
Well, I was born with 2 dicks. Called Mom and Dad.
And it is for, let's see, I can find it. Here we go. 3 to 10 people and 30 to 90 minutes of gameplay. And it's like Cards Against Humanity, but on steroids. And you're using pictures. So you're creating a story using pictures, and you're adding you put a card down, and each player is adding their cards to what's already there. And the person who is judging for a particular round will pick the card that tells the story that they feel is the funniest. And by the end of the game, the person whose cards was chosen the most wins. This is a hilarious game. But you have to have a sense of humor to play this game and not be
You have to
easily
be
offended,
willing,
I think.
yeah. You have to be willing to laugh at things that should offend you.
Some of these things might not be for everyone, but if you're putting this in
It
someone's
says right here on the
stocking-
box, an offensive card game from Cyanide and
Yeah,
Happiness.
it does say that on the box. It should have led
It's
with
part of
that.
the label.
Yeah, it
It's
should have
part of
led
the-
with that.
it's part of the title.
Because it is important to note that, because if you're putting this in someone's stocking, you already know that that person has this kind of sense of humor. And it's good to give options, just like with Gloom. You have people who are into horror or dark comedy, if you will, which that one's not really comedy, but it is. It's dark humor.
Yeah.
Similar with this one, but in a different direction. So we're just trying to throw different options in there for you because we have all kinds of friends and family in our life, right? And that being said, this was my 5th one, but I wanted to at least mention another game also done by the same people, which is Trowel by Trolley. And oh my gosh, if you think this one...
Wait till they get a load of me.
If you think this one was something, you're really going to think this one is something.
Oh, yeah. It takes the trolley dilemma, which is what this is based on, the psychological question of would you rather run over this person or this group or whatever, and allows you to put the best people on your side, and then your opponent gets to add like messed up things that they may have done in their lives or other variables to get you to want to run over the group of children that are going to grow up to be mass puppy murderers or something.
That's all I've got. If you want to mention something else about
Well,
these games.
please let us know in the comments below what games from this list you would like to see us maybe do a longer format, and games you would recommend as stocking stuffer. That's all I've got. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time.